Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast. We discuss all things crypto markets. That includes majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. And we do have some NFT news we'll be talking about today as Nike sells Artifact. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the decision for the MSCI index to keep MicroStrategy inside of it. A little pump from MSTR coming off the back of that. And we're going to talk about the first red day of 2026, how the coins reacted and how we're playing it. And as always, we'll have Prediction Market Alpha from the Vibe Code Prediction Market Maestro himself, Easy, who's on the show today. Thank you all for listening. If you're on X, give us a like, comment, bookmark, retweet, push us out in the algorithm. If you are over on YouTube, drop a comment. What are you trading? Meme coins, prediction markets, altcoins, majors, real world assets. What are you doing in the crypto space today? And if you're listening over on Zora, where we stream each and every day, drop us a comment. Let us know you are there. We'll be looking for comments coming out of Zora today as well. Jam, Easy, how you feeling?
I feel good, man. How are you?
Good. How late were you up vibe coding last night?
Like 11:30. Not too late, but not early. I started trading memes again too.
Ooh, let's go. Let's go. What are we trading?
I mean, it's all short-term stuff. Like, I shared it in Bodago's Discord because I was like, this is interesting. I shared it at like 1.1. It hit 2 last night. It was because I think right now with like this whole trend of vibe code stuff, right? Like, there's an argument to be made that we could see an AI-like meta, but instead of AI, it's just vibe-coded apps, right? So this thing launched yesterday. Oh, it lost all its money. That's funny. Oh, no, it didn't. Damn, it's at 100 sold. Never mind. This thing's just been absolutely fucking crushing. So I bought into this thing called Opus the Trencher.
This guy.
And it was a vibe-coded trench bot that, like, just trades meme coins. It just kind of scalps.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it made like 100 sold. So it did pretty good. I bought in yesterday. It says the average fill price was 109 mil. But the reason I'm talking about it now is because I'm already out of this. Like, I had sell limits last night while I was sleeping, like 1.9. So I wanted to just trade it and see what would happen on that front and see if my thesis is right that people are going to be inherently interested in stuff that's vibe coded. And like, is Claude the word? Is Opus the word? What is it that's going to drive interest? And I kind of put a couple theses of like, yeah, I think this meta could be vibe coded shit. Like, it's interesting.
I'm looking at this. This is the live stream from the Opus meme coin on Pump. And I have zero doubts that this is all just spewing nonsense.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Like complete nonsense.
On like loops here.
It's all loops. So what I thought was interesting though is go to the website, opusthetrencher.io.
Okay. Opusthetrencher.io. All right, we're loading up. Okay.
So the one thing I thought was interesting was the P&L because last night it was like actually running, which I was like very interested in. It seems that the dev's asleep. Now, all this stuff is just loops, like you said. Filtering the noise, scanning the neural network, 13 learning. Like none of that shit actually makes any sense. All I cared about was the P&L and the win rate and the number of trades. So it seems that the bot's down right now, which is leading to this pullback. But it's up to,
it looks like it's doing stuff, right? These are stop losses.
Yeah. Okay. All stop losses. So they're just happening. Like this, it doesn't even show its positions. So I think the bot is down probably, but I mean, it's at 1.3 mil, which I'm like, yeah, that's interesting. Because at 7:30 in the morning, it hit 2 mil. So something must have happened with it. Like I said, I was still asleep. But I took profit on it. So I was pretty happy with it.
Let's go. Love to see it.
Yeah. I'm just, like I said, I've just been watching the trenches again. I'm trying not to overtrade and like really go crazy. I started another small wallet just to see if we could run some stuff up. I'm not really like going too crazy on it. Obviously, I've been trading prediction markets. We're trying to figure out cracking a code there, and if we can. But yeah, other than that, man, just been like staying busy. There's still a lot of stuff I'm like interested in. Like, there's gonna be markets that inherently pop off. There's gonna be airdrops that are interesting. There's gonna be ecosystems that you should probably pay attention to.
Yeah. I was looking at DEX volume on Pump Fund, setting a new all-time high yesterday. You see this?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
So all-time high.
Huge all-time high.
Yeah. $2 billion. And we talked about this earlier in the week and maybe even last week. Like, I think it's time, like we were saying, it's time to start paying attention. So if you were paying attention, you were trading in the trenches, volume is back, and it's back in a big way.
To some extent. It's like wallets are still flat. I posted about this yesterday. If you go and look, I had all the data yesterday from Adam TEHC, who's like one of the best Dune analytics creators. Love Adam. I think he does an incredible job. He works for Counterparty, TG's thing. TG's media company. And I'm like, this is great. Like, he does some really good stuff. Daily tokens deployed is rising again since September 8th. Daily graduates is all-time high since October 8th. Launchpad volume still only over 100 mil, not making new all-time highs. And daily active addresses has been relatively flat. Yeah, so that's what I was looking at. Was like, I'm more interested in looking at the pump fund stuff because, yeah, graduations are up, so people are blasting more. But the main thing here is you aren't getting like brand new wallets just yet. Maybe it's a start. And I keep seeing the people post like, how do we get more people involved? How do we get more people active in the ecosystem? And truthfully, it's like, you do need people posting wins to make people think that there's opportunity. Because like, I look at people like TJR Trades and Morgan Trades, these like Web2 swing traders, stock traders, Forex traders, and they just post their wins. They just post and their losses, but they post like actually them using the market and showing how it's possible.
Yeah, I'm looking at these metrics here for wallets. 88,000 recurring wallets, 46,000 new wallets yesterday.
Yeah,
and it's like an outlier. I don't know why we had so much new activity yesterday.
I think it's just people making multiple wallets.
I think that people are like realizing what these AI like crypto Twitter's waking up to like the AI coding tools that have been available since summer.
But I know they've been available, but they're actually good now. Like, I look at my GitHub and I had contributions in March, which was when like I started messing with Claude Code. I had contributions in July, which was when stuff kind of rolled out even more and they upgraded to Sonnet 4.5. And I've never had as many contributions as I have in the last 4 days where like stuff's actually able to make a good app. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing for me right now where it's like, okay, the page is turned where now it went from like idea and iteration where, yeah, you can make stuff to, okay, there's actually something here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, there is actually a product that people can create and it's going to come down to marketing. Like, everyone complains about the vibe coding stuff and I get it. It's annoying to see like all the same garbage posts about, oh, I made a Polygon ARB bot that's printing thousands of money. I'm like, okay, like, cool. It's not actually doing that.
I think it's also more like beginner friendly now. It makes less mistakes. You need less technical knowledge to troubleshoot. And anybody who like has like an ounce of creativity and like an analytical mind that can sit and talk with AI and like suss out like what needs to happen, like can do it. You don't need a coding background. And I think that's been more true now than ever with the AI.
Yeah.
And I think that like crypto Twitter is seeing like these things spun up in front of their eyes. And they're saying, okay, well, we're a little bit behind now, the 8 ball, and it's time to, what can I build? What can I do to take advantage of this? All these ideas that I might have had, now I can actually like
you can actually build something for real, which I'm like, that's way more interesting.
Yep.
Like, the products actually work. Before it was like, yeah, you could spin up something that's like half-assed, barely works, falls apart. Now we actually have something that's like, oh, this is real.
Yep, 100%. We're not going to talk about vibe coding the whole time. We're going to get Easy on a weather report. Just sent over the link in the private chat, Easy, if you want to pull that up. And then we'll dive into the rest of the show here and dive into some of these.
Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Wednesday, January 7th. Looking over at the crypto roundup, the majors are down with Bitcoin at 92K after recording its first red day of the year. Ethereum back to 3,200, Solana's at 137, and Hype is back below $27. Seems the sell-off from the Hype unlocks is playing out. Oof. The MSCI index decided to keep DATs, including strategy, in their index. MSTR pumped $4 on the unexpected news and is now trading at $164. I know Pio's nervous about those covered calls. Next up, Nike sold the Artifact NFT project to a non-disclosed company. The CloneX collection is up over 200% on the news to a 0.3 ETH floor. What exactly will this entail? Do they get the IP rights? Are they remaking sneakers? Who knows? But it seems that Artifact is back. And finally, Rumble announced the Rumble wallet this morning. The wallet app is now live on Apple and Google Play and allows a MoonPay-powered tipping of Bitcoin to streamers. I hope they unlock more capital and more coins to unlock and pay streamers via tipping. Back to you in the studio, Raymond.
Excellent weather report as always. Easy, a lot to unpack today. Rumble Wallet is super interesting. Did you ever consider streaming on Rumble?
No.
It's pretty much kick. This makes the most sense for the morning.
Yep.
CloneX gets acquired. Floor pumping, a little life for the NFT fans out there, if there are any of you left. Up to just a little bit under $1,000 for a CloneX on the news. These were trading down under $300 before the news. So little run up here on CloneX. Any interest in CloneX on your end, Easy?
No, I don't have any interest in it. Like, I think it's just like an exit pump for a lot of people who've been bag holding or were hoping for a buyout. I would not want to trade this.
I wish you could short NFTs because I think shorting this pump just makes way too much sense.
Yes, I agree.
Unless there's something crazy that comes out, but like it's very hard to like envision what can move an NFT collection at this point in time. So I don't really see this holding. I think we're gonna have some buyers regret here at those prices. NFTs pull back across the board. Looking over here on OpenSea, mostly in the red, except for hyper NFTs up to 554 hype a pop. That's a pretty penny for these. Are going to be airdrop magnets on the Hyperliquid ecosystem for the hypers. Moonbirds at 1.8. Clemente was interested in potentially buying a Moonbird yesterday, which was questionable in my opinion. Infinex patrons down just to about 1 ETH, down 11% ahead of their sale. Their sale still hasn't closed. Kane's doing the rounds to drum up some support. That sale is still open for Infinex. I think I'm going to be participating. I have money over there getting ready for that sale as well. Not a ton of life in the NFT market, though, down on the day after a pump, but this comes as Bitcoin experiences its first red day of 2026. Everyone was like super perma bullish on Bitcoin. We all witnessed Clemente on the show yesterday. He was like, everything is back. Like we were absolutely back. And like, yeah, but that's what happens when you get like a couple green days in a row. I mean, we bounce off the same level that we've been basically showing this range, and we said like, hey, is this the easiest short ever? Do we break out? So if you shorted on the failed breakout on Monday, would have been a very, very easy was that 5% drop there?
Yep.
Do you think we retake this 94 level easy, or do you think we're going to be in the top there?
It's, I mean, 92K has been that line in the sand, right?
Like, well, 94, like 90, this 94, like 95 areas, like we've wicked into it and above it a couple times. It's like 94.5. Like we slightly wicked above it on Monday, and then yesterday we tried to retest it, didn't even quite get there, and then we're down since. So yeah, I don't know. Like it's been an easy short from this upper end, but I'm just curious if you think we're going to continue to range, or if you do have more faith to the upside here.
Yeah. I don't know. It's why I said I wanted to kind of sit cautiously before buying into this stuff. I wanted to kind of wait.
Yeah, I got blown out yesterday, actually. I took profits on Farcoin at a long into this pump because it hadn't pumped as much of the alts. And then I saw Bitcoin reject. Instead of trading Bitcoin off the rejection, I said, you know what, I'm going to short Farcoin because I think these alts that have been running up more substantially than the majors are gonna take a hit. And I got absolutely liquidated on that. It's back down to like where I shorted, but got liquidated on like a little bit of a pump there. So bad call on the fart coin short. Basically gave back all the profits I made on the long. I've had like terrible luck, or like terrible, I mean, not luck, but terrible results with shorting. And I just keep going back to the well. I don't know why at this point. I think I'm probably shooting like 20% win rate on short. So maybe I need to like look back and maybe cut some of those and only take longs and in positions where I do have higher confidence. Yeah, I'm nervous. I think we might lose 90K again on Bitcoin here, especially as we get closer to the end of the week. I mean, on the weekly, I mean, we're approaching these swing highs, like tested swing highs, and if we don't close above that on the weekly, I think we could be in for some pain back towards the bottom of this range. All depends on bullish news or bearish news. We had the Venezuela like situation over the weekend, and we figure we're going to see some volatility this week in the markets, and we have just a matter of where things settle. Hopefully, though, if we can maintain this strength on altcoins, which we've seen on this run up, that would be nice. To have like an altcoin market that's very active while Bitcoin potentially just continues to chop. I want to look at Bitcoin dominance because it feels like Bitcoin dominance is it's going down basically since Christmas. Like we have a local top on Christmas. Bitcoin dominance has been falling from 60% all the way down to a little under 59%. So we are seeing the strength in these altcoins, and it's reflected by this Bitcoin dominance. Looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart, a little bit of a local low that we could be approaching to take out at 58.5%. Then after that, you're all the way down to 57.5 for your next potential level. If Bitcoin dominance continues to fall while we chop, I think there's still going to be a ton of action in the crypto market, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on personally. Starting with some of these ICOs. Easy. Are you participating, or have you looked at any of the ICOs we've been talking about this week? We talked about the Ranger ICO DeFi app, and we also talked about the Trove ICO, which is like a RWA app over on Hyper EVM. Are you looking at these ICOs at all? Or are you really just like focused on trenching and prediction markets?
Mostly prediction markets and trenching. The ICO stuff is interesting, but I don't want lockups. Like the Infinex, you can get in at a 300 mil FDV for an immediate unlock. That is somewhat interesting to me. But other than that, I've been kind of not heavily looking at some stuff when it comes to like oh my god, what is that? MetaDAO?
Yeah,
because they have some stuff where like I look at Polymarket odds and stuff feels like it's going to potentially fill at certain valuations, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, Ranger is launching.
Yeah, Ranger's the one at 20 mil. That looks like they're going to raise it. If you look at Polymarket, basically like they're pricing in total commits for Ranger 93% chance over 20 mil, which sounds crazy because it hasn't even filled the full 6, right?
No, it's I think, yeah, they're trying to raise 42% of it right now. 2.5 mil raised on Ranger. Closes in 3 days. So what are we, Wednesday, Thursday?
Dude, it's got a 60% chance that it fills over 60 mil.
I've seen positive. I haven't really dug into what Ranger is, but I've seen positive sentiment on the timeline for this MetaDAO launch.
Yeah.
So this is the FDV one day after launch, right?
Yep.
So it's like 50-50. It's going to be over 30 million. I don't know how these launches work on MetaDAO. Like, is the price determined by how many people invest?
It's by how much total is invested.
So basically, it all goes into a pool, and the tokens get split like pro rata based on how much was raised.
Yep.
Interesting. So this is one to pay attention to. Closing Saturday at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., sometime in that range. This is one to pay attention to. They're basically derivatives DeFi on, I believe, Solana.
Yeah.
So,
but look at that. So what's crazy to me is like you have a will the commits be over 60 mil at 60% chance and a 50% chance FTV is over 30 mil? So I'm like, one of these is wrong. You know what I mean? Like one of these feels like, yeah, we should be able to take an opportunity here. I just don't know what that opportunity is.
Yeah, so I'm curious what the math is on the $60 million of commitments versus the amount of tokens that are being allocated
Yeah.
and what that looks like.
Yeah, that's a tough part. I don't exactly know.
So I got to do the math there. Bodog is normally on top of these MetaDAO launches, so I'm going to be in there today trying to figure out the math here because it does look like there could be a potential ARB on these two markets on Polymarkets. Getting some heat in the YouTube comments. Connor Glenn saying, that's what you get, Ray. Why would you short Fartcoin? Fartcoin will deliver us to the promised land. Absolutely right. I've been very bearish on Fartcoin overall, and I think I've been pretty spot on price movements for it, but this short was definitely not one of the ones that I've hit on for sure. Other major news today includes MicroStrategy remaining in the MSCI index. This was a FUD vector for MicroStrategy that had, some would say contributed to the downward price action. Basically, removal from this index removes potential liquidity and volume on the stock. We're up 3% in pre-market trading, up to $163. This is from a local high up at right around $540 for MicroStrategy. Easy, do you hold any MicroStrategy? Would you be considering adding some?
Probably not. I don't really want to buy into it, to be honest. Like, I'm not terribly interested in it.
I saw you tweeted about Open. You've been DCAing into Open?
Yes, heavy.
Since like December, you were saying last month?
Yep. Yeah, I really like Open personally.
Yeah, Carvana for houses is interesting for sure. It's a big market to disrupt. But I mean, I can see the vision as somebody who's bought a couple houses, sold a house at this point. There is a lot of middlemen and fees. So being able to streamline the process feels like there's some sort of value capture there. And I think people are even willing to like pay more money to not have to deal with stuff. If that makes sense. Like I think Carvana is like nice because people don't want to go to a car dealership and haggle with a car salesman to like spend the time and effort to get the right price and still not know if you're getting like a fair price or you're getting ripped off. With housing markets, I feel like there's like a lot of back and forth that goes on. There's offers, there's pre-approvals, middlemen, etc. I think if you can simplify the process and eliminate the need to interact with other human beings in the housing market, I think that people are going to go for that. The question is like, is this too big of a purchase to like have people want convenience over like potentially the best deal or guidance? So I'm interested to see what's going to happen, but I know like there's definitely a world and a universe out there where this thing flips the housing market on its head and then rips to infinity. So
Yep.
one I'm watching for sure. I'm not in yet, but it looks like a decent spot to jump in on a bit of a pullback on Open here. This is down from a $11 local high at $6.88 right now. I see a world where this easily gets back over 10. So we'll see. I like to play there. Anything else you've been trading? Equities, stocks?
Not too much. It's mostly that. Like I'm just kind of keeping a slower pace right now. I don't want to try to like overcomplicate this, Like, are we back? Maybe. It's tough to say. Yeah, it's really tough to say. So I'm like trying to be cautiously optimistic. Like I don't want to overtrade memes. I don't want to overtrade crypto. I want to kind of just see where this is moving.
Interesting. You see the news coming out of Polymarket with the crypto market fees?
Yes, on the 15-minute markets.
Yeah. It looks like 15-minute crypto markets are now going to have trading fees on Polymarket, and they're going to go towards this maker rebates program. I think this is essentially when you provide liquidity at the money for these different markets. There's like USDC rewards. So they're experimenting with fees, it looks like, to increase liquidity in other markets. I'm really curious how this is going to play out. Do you ever trade these 15-minute crypto markets?
When I'm bored and feeling like a degenerate, it's basically short-term leverage trading like a piece of shit.
Right.
I don't do it often.
15-minute here. So it's up, down, 15-minute.
Yeah, that's it. Either price is up or price is down.
Interesting. Look at this. Look at this volume coming in. So there's what? How much volume is there on this 15-minute market? And this opens up. Yeah, I guess it just opened. So 9:30 in 2 minutes, it's done. $7,000 worth of volume. You can just like see it flying in. This is actually really funny. Does it show you what the price is to start? Is this
Yes.
right
Yeah. So like you can see for 9:45. Is that what we're at right now? 9:45. Yeah. Normally it shows like price to beat. So it'll tell us like where it has to be.
You don't see it here. Oh, it's cool. Like you can see like the previous three. It's like you're at like the roulette table, and you can see like the previous numbers that came out. Like how it went down 4 times in a row. Maybe we'll go up this 15 minutes. Interesting. Switch between time frames 10 a.m. Yeah, I'm not seeing that. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, so you can bet on the futures of up or down.
Yep.
I love that. So you can bet on the 10-15 market already if Bitcoin's going to go up and down the 10-15 market. So you can do like the Jane Street dump trading at 10:30 and see like what's going to go like yes or no. I wonder if any of these markets are more correlated to Bitcoin going up or down in terms of the spread on them versus always being like 50-50 or like kind of similar in terms of the daily trend. So it's kind of funny. I haven't traded these. This is the first time I've actually looked at these, so I'm like kind of like curious and interested here.
They're as degen as possible.
Speaking of other Polymarket plays, you had a big win on a Netflix play. Tell me about that.
So I'm building this app, right? I don't want to share the app just yet, but it aggregates a ton of data sources for me based on like Google search trends, Wikipedia page views, YouTube views, a whole bunch of other stuff, and gives me momentum scores based on where it's like anticipating certain titles to rank the following week. So obviously Stranger Things just won last week, right? Because it just came out over Christmas. My model and the platform I built said that it thinks Stranger Things is going to fall to number 3. And I was like, okay, interesting. Market opened up. Stranger Things was still at a 60% odd. So I went in and I just bought no on Stranger Things season 5 for the top show. I got filled at 55 cents. And then the market quickly adjusted, like very quickly adjusted. So now it's all the way down to a 7% chance. And I have no shares at 55. So I'm like already way up on the money for it. So for me, I'm like, what markets are you able to have an edge on right now based on information? And this was the first market where I was like, okay, this is very interesting to me to see the model actually work on like the first trade I made. So I got filled on both US and global for Stranger Things season 5 on no. And both seem to now be playing out how I kind of thought it might. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I'm still working on some back testing and stuff like that to see like what we can do in forecasting for it. So it's been fun to like actually work through the Polymarket API and actually build out data aggregation sources. I'm like, yeah, this is very, very interesting. I can share a little bit here. I don't want to share too much, but I have the page up from the app I've made. It shouldn't show the title. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. So you can see like it's giving me the top 10. Some of this still needs to be cleaned up because it's not showing some of the new movies and shows. So like Runaway and His and Hers are not on here. I have to clean this up today. But you can see it's anticipating Stranger Things to drop too with a pretty high confidence. Momentum's weakening. Trends are dropping. Its ranking is dropping. And I was like, okay, cool. As soon as that market opened, I went in and threw in market offer, like market bids at 65 and 55 for global and US markets. And sure enough, it ended up panning out pretty nicely. I'm up 70% already in one day on the Stranger Things market for US and up 33% on the global market. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting to me. If we're able to actually aggregate some data and get that, I'm like, yeah, this feels good. Like, I'm just going to trust the model and see what happens. I got to figure out the fine tuning for shows that have not, like, new shows, because Runaway and His and Hers and Unlocked are all brand new. Most of the shows on this leaderboard are new. So I'm like, yeah, let me mess around with this a little more. But it gave me some decent odds. And I'm trying to figure out Runaway, because that one seems like right now early is the favorite. Yeah, for global, it looks like that one's probably going to win. It's at 66%. I might take a position there. And then for US, it's at 50%. So if you can hit a coin flip win, that's 100% gain on that. I'm like, yeah, why not take a flyer on that if this model's working? And this is kind of the first week that I'm actually going to have this working with a market that's live, where I can actually take positions and get fills on stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. Feels good. Like, let's see if we can start to find edges. I'm still building out some other stuff. If you're a Bodago's whale, you're going to get some access to this. I want to get access for the whales fairly early for the Golden Globes next week. That's like the next thing. I mostly want to focus on entertainment markets, movies, box office, gross estimates, Netflix, stuff like that, like culture markets, because those to me are the ones that are like the heaviest data driven markets, where we can actually analyze a lot of stuff, source articles, get information from other people, and have this make an aggregation of a data resource all in one place. So I'm like, yeah, this is where I've been spending a lot of my time. Like I said, I have in the last 4 days, I've got, how many is this? 30 yesterday, 68, 134, 185 GitHub commits over the last 4 days, which has been pretty wild. I've just been like heads down working on this. Because my thought is like, if you can build something that aggregates data in a way that's easily digestible, that's the value add, not giving somebody a platform for people to just like have a guarantee, right? Like, a source of truth is more interesting to me than an app that does everything for you. Like, a lot of people use a lot of different resources, a lot of different pages to find these value adds. Let me just pull everything into one view, so it's really easy to understand what's going on. And these markets are the ones that are not like crazy high volume. You can get entries on stuff, and a lot of it's just timing based. So like, this all updates in real time as soon as these markets go live. And that's where I'm like, yeah, this feels good. Like, I'm happy about taking these swings. So I'm still waiting on what the Netflix movie markets to open up. They haven't opened yet. All we have is the TV show markets right now. But yeah, I feel pretty good about them. That's why I'm like, let's keep figuring out what the play is here and see where we can go. So I've been working through this, been having fun with it, and kind of interested to see like where we actually go from here. It's been interesting. It's been interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited to follow along. I think there's gonna be a ton of value here with this tool, especially with the whales getting early access. So if you're a Bodago whale over in the Discord, Easy's going to get you access to this at some point here going forward, early access.
Yeah, I should hopefully have access for whales this weekend for the Golden Globes markets for next week. That's the plan. While I still keep tinkering around with other stuff. I've got like insider trackers, which everybody's built one of those, but I was like, fuck it. It's pretty easy to just spin up one of those for people who might be interested in that stuff.
It's like new wallets taking positions for the first time.
Yeah, that one I'm like working on is like pretty simple. It just detects patterns. It's like pattern recognition for wallets, and it parses all the wallets, which you can see here. So we can see like what people are buying, selling, where they're buying it, size of the buys. So even if we like, oops, may have just seen the name. Yeah, so like you have someone right now buying into Kevin Hassett as the next Fed chair, an $18,000 volume, fresh wallet, 11 trades. And if we go in, we can actually see the wallet. So we can see what they're doing. So I don't know. It's like I said, I want to just create a source of truth for people to be able to go into one spot, find information in a clean and simple way, and actually take action on it. Like, that's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to monetize on this. All the data sources I'm using are free. So like, for me, the cost to host this, I think my domain name was like $14. It was pretty cheap, and that's about it. It's like, there's not much cost to this. And then my Claude Code monthly cost, which I pay for the max because I'm a piece of shit, and I'm using the hell out of it. Like I said, I'm pushing commits constantly.
Yeah, that can get quite expensive.
If you pay for the max, you're not going to max it out. I haven't yet. I've maxed out both other monthly plans, so I was like, okay, I guess we're just going to have to pay for this and call it a day. Spent $2,500 a year, whatever. If I can build something that's even right now, I'm pretty sure I've 50% of my monthly cost is already paid back on just the Stranger Things market. So stuff like that is like, yeah, why would I not pay for a tool that gives me an edge that I can make money on? That's kind of where my head is.
Yeah, and like the Claude stuff, then like it's you've built the site with Claude. Once it's working and it's up to date, you're not gonna be using as many credits. It becomes cheaper to run as you're using the credits for other things. So it kind of like creates the money making product, and then you don't have to worry about it. It's not like a consistent drain on it.
Yeah, and my thought is always like, if you can make something that makes you money, like I think Frank's app has an interesting thing there because it's $5, and if you save more than $5, it's inherently worth it to use.
He's got such a good target audience with his crypto audience. There has to be so many people who just throw money at random subscriptions.
Bro, I found so many subscriptions from when I was doing like vibe coding video stuff that I forgot I was paying for.
Yeah. Yeah, we use like one of those financial tracking apps just linked to all of our codes and bank accounts. So my wife is very quick to flag anything that looks like it might be weird, unused, like not used, or like she'll ask like, what the hell is this? And I'll be like, oh, well, that's this random thing that I use for X, Y, and Z with crypto. But yeah, I mean, if you're somebody who doesn't use one of those, using Frank's thing is going to make sense, and it'll probably save you more than it costs to use it. And like, very good bet by him, because you're likely going to be having happy viral tweets going out because people are going to have these wild numbers that they've been spending on subscriptions, and it only costs $5 to do it. So it's like a very cool marketing push.
That's why it's like, yeah, if I can create an app where people can post that they're making money on the signals, that's inherently marketing in itself.
Honestly, it's better that he does it for $5 and does it for free too.
Yep.
Like, I think that the marketing is better with a cost, which is like kind of wild, because like, oh, I made,
because it's like, oh, I spent $5 and I saved $5,000.
Right.
Like, yeah, what? Obviously, that's 1,000x.
Yeah,
like I didn't hit 1,000x, but I'm saving 1,000x.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I think we've rolled through most of this stuff today. I'm going to run through some quick hitters that you can find in our newsletter each and every day, dailybones.com to subscribe. We talked about a couple of these. Bitcoin closed the first day in the red this year. Pump Fund surpassed $2 billion in trading revenue. TD Cowen, the bank, is worrying that the crypto market structure bill will be delayed to 2027 with implementation in 2029. CNBC segment, they called XRP the hottest crypto trade of the year. And on the macro and geopolitics side, Trump is considering using military to acquire Greenland, as the odds of acquisition hit a 2x on Polymarket. Venezuela is turning over 30 to 50 million barrels of oil to the United States. The Supreme Court may enforce the return of $133 billion worth of U.S. tariff revenue. Japan's 30-year Treasury yield hit a new all-time high yesterday. Copper hit a new all-time high. And speaking of metals, gold overtook the U.S. dollar as the leading global reserve asset. Back on the NFT side, Rec Drinks announced a collaboration with World Star Hip Hop and a new flavor, the Cherry Cola flavor. JP Morgan is launching their JPM coin on the Canton blockchain. This is only the second blockchain that they've launched on with this token. And the Coinbase head of investment research stated that 1/3 of Bitcoin supply is vulnerable to quantum attacks. You get all this and more each and every day if you subscribe to our newsletter, dailybones.com, to sign up. Easy, how do you feel about this Cherry Cola Rec Drink flavor? This sounds interesting.
I'm excited to try it. I'm not a big Cherry Cola fan.
I love
personally.
There's nothing better.
Yeah, I'm not.
Core memory for me is like college room or college dining hall, unlimited cherry cola out of a fountain soda dispenser. Just chef's kiss, like perfect. Love that. One of my favorite memories in college is like smashing those outside of the dining hall. World Star Hip Hop is a very well-known brand. This is a cool collaboration. They've been doing a good job with their business development, and it seems like they're just continuing to crush it over at Rect. This is one that we had on our buy list for 2026 yesterday. I bought some of the derivative strategy token Rexter. I'm looking to add more Rect this year as well. Anything else you want to talk about today before we wrap? Or you think we pretty much covered everything easy?
I think that's it.
Thank you all for listening. It's been another wonderful episode. We appreciate you tuning in each and every day. We do this podcast Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can catch us on all major podcasting platforms. Catch us on Apple, Spotify. You can also watch us back on Zora and YouTube, where we stream every day if you want to see what we're looking